welcome back everyone for some more Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. And we are going to begin day 1 of the trial against Lana Skye. Last time around we finished day 1 of the investigation. Now it's at a point where we think we have enough to at least hopefully prolong this trial. Now before I start, I will say that this particular testimony that's coming up is going to be split into 2 parts. Just because it's so long, I really don't want an episode to drag on too long. So, the testimony of the witness that's going to appear in this video will also be, the second part of it will be featured in tomorrow's video, just so you guys know. But anyway, hopefully you guys have a good Saturday, so we're just going to go ahead and do, well, it says trial former, that just means the whole proceedings before the trial, but yeah, the witness that's going to be on here in this episode will be also featured in tomorrow, just because said witness's testimony is just that long. But anyway, February 23rd, 9:34 a.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 2. How did the investigation go yesterday, Mr. Ray? Frankly, there's still a lot of gray areas. Or rather, the whole thing is one big gray area. Don't worry about me, no matter what the outcome. I'm ready to accept my fate. I believe in you, sis. Mr. Wright, let me offer you a word of advice. Yes? A defense attorney should never believe their client. The defendant is called to trial because they are suspected of wrongdoing. Never forget that. Miss Skye, you remind me a lot of Mia. But there is one decisive difference between you and her. And that is, you're not a defense attorney. I believe it's almost time for the trial. Good luck, Mr. Wright. Hey there, Devin. My first trial without a Fae helping me. No one's gonna bail me out this time. Oh, hey there, Mia. I'll be alone in there. So I have to discover the truth all by myself. Let's do it, Mr. Wright. I believe I'll be with you the whole way. And we got a job to do. February 23rd, 10 a.m., District Court, Courtroom Number 9. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Skye. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor. Edgeworth. It's been 2 months, but I haven't been in the courtroom since his trial. I hope that personal feelings will not be a part of the proceedings today, Mr. Wright. I will choose the path I think is right, regardless of what those around me might say. The judgment to be made here is in our hands, not those of anyone else. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. The opening statement, please. Chief Prosecutor Lana Skye has committed an unpardonable crime. Not only this, but she was rash enough to commit it in the prosecutor's office lot. Wow, he's much more forceful in person. I suddenly feel like confessing to everything. However, she will now pay for her rashness with her life. There was a witness to her crime. A professional witness. Well then, call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution calls its first witness, Miss Angel Starr, to the stand. The cough-up queen? Haven't I seen you somewhere? You ordered the caviar lunch, right? Oh, caviar! I've never eaten caviar before. Judge is really wolfing it down. Ah, and for you, I have a Fiesta Bowl. Thanks. Will the witness state her name and profession? Ah, and you, sir. Did you order the fingerprint lunchbox? It is too early for lunch. You name a profession, please. Well, Your Honor, how does it taste? So this is why everyone raves about caviar. It's so tasty it hurts. I always thought caviar would taste like pickled tapioca. What the heck does pickled tapioca taste like? You know what? I don't even want to know. Name. Profession. Now. Me? The name is Angel Star. And yes, I realize I'm not doing the voice anymore. Whenever I did her voice the last 2 videos, it just put too much of a strain on my voice. So I'm just going to do normal voice for her. Don't go forgetting it. I find myself running Lunchland these days. Is that what you wanted me to say, Mr. Edgeworth? Very well, witness. Please describe the incident to us. The prosecution will wait. I'm not finished eating. Hurry it up. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. As you know, we usually call on the police to provide a description of the crime. Your Honor, as Mr. Edgeworth has said to the court, I am a professional. Huh? What exactly does that mean? Until 2 years ago, Miss Angel Star was a special investigator with the police. She was a first-rate homicide detective. What? Miss Star was a detective? Aha! I know who you are. Cough up? Cough up Queen Angel Star, Your Honor. Long time no see. Very well. You may continue with the description, Miss Star. Just who is this lady? If I might have the court's attention over here. The parking lot at the prosecutor's office is divided into 2 blocks. A block is for the prosecutor's office personnel. B block is for visitors and clients. A chain divider separates the 2 blocks. I suppose that's to keep the visitors from taking up prosecutors' spaces, yes? The crime took place by a car in the back of A block in the car's trunk. The killer stabbed the victim with this knife and went to drive the body out. Unfortunately for her, there was a witness, and an arrest was made on the spot. And who was this very witness? Why, it was me, Your Honor. Parking lot floor plans added to the court record the parking lot with Edgeworth's car. Witness, did you see the very moment of the crime? Of course, Your Honor. Immediately after that, I apprehended the chief prosecutor. Seems rather cut and dry, doesn't it? Well, Mr. Wright? I can't agree on principle, Your Honor. Seems that some poor losers are unwilling to accept the truth, Your Honor. Shall I proceed to crush what little hope they have remaining? If you can, then give them your worst, Miss Star. Wait, are they talking about me? Witness testimony. Witness's account. Somehow I always knew a day like this would come. I was on my way to deliver lunchbox to my boyfriend when I sensed something. Perhaps it was my finally home detective's intuition at work. Through the wire fence, I saw the chief prosecutor standing next to a garish car. The chief prosecutor is holding a knife in her right hand. Then she thrust the pointy tip of the knife into Detective Goodman's chest. Bringing a lunchbox to your boyfriend? How touching. As you can see, there is no room for doubt. The key points of your testimony seem to be nothing other than the point of the knife which you saw being stabbed at Detective Goodman. So, how does it feel to be so utterly crushed? I'm still thinking about that. It's merely a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. Very well, Mr. Wright. You may cross-examine the witness. Crap. Is it gonna let me save? Yeah, let's save. Because I want to save before every cross-examination in case things go pear-shaped. Somehow I knew a day like this would come. How did you know? I respect the prosecutor's basic aberrance of crime, yet their methods are ugly and twisted. Twisted methods will always lead to tragedy. The lunch lady's uninformed opinion is duly noted. Given that they are used to erasing inconvenient evidence at their whim. Killing off a detective that knew too much is merely an extension of that. Miss Star, do you have something personal against prosecutors? I felt that if I found my dream job, I had found my dream job when I became an investigator, and if I hadn't been laid off by those prosecutors over there, I'd still be one. Laid off? She was fired. To me, prosecutors are nothing more than worms. That said, I am a pro, as you know. My testimony is unbiased and flawless. Very well. You may continue, Miss Star. Okay, she was on her way to deliver a lunchbox. Okay, it was her finally home. Who, why are you standing next to garish car? By garish car, you mean Mr. Edgeworth's car, yes. Mr. Edgeworth? Incidentally, the knife with which the victim was stabbed was also Mr. Edgeworth, wasn't it? Indeed it was. What an odd case this is. And a person you saw, you're sure it was the defendant? I saw her from no further than 30 feet away. I am certain it was her. If she's telling the truth, we're doomed. Let's just do what we can! Even if we don't have any proof, we can always nitpick. Witness, in your testimony you clearly stated the following. Prosecutors are nothing more than worms. Ergo, you are a biased witness. You might want to keep those silly opinions to yourself in the future, rookie. Huh? Rookie? Unless you're willing to risk the consequences of doubting me. I'll fry you like a fritter, crispy on the outside, chewy on the inside. That was inspiring. I believe I heard that tagline elsewhere. You could cry plagiarism? I may be relegated to the lowly post of lunch lady, but my instincts are honed. A photograph? You took this? The moment I witnessed the crime, my reflexes took over and snapped. I took a picture. In fact, one of my lunchboxes is rigged with a camera. I suppose that's more exciting than just hanging around your neck. Witness, why am I only seeing this photograph just now? You think I'd show it to you, a prosecutor? Think again. My boyfriend works in the photography division of criminal affairs. Well, this is most certainly the defendant. Crime photo added to the court record. The moment of the crime as photographed by Angel Star. Uh-oh. That is unmistakably Lana Skye. So, what was the defendant doing at the time? The chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand. Then she thrust a pointy tip of the knife into Detective Goodman's chest. It's only flesh wound, Mr. Wright. We can make it. You said that before. Anything else? Scientifically speaking, Mr.'s testimony is flawless. Sounds pretty fatal to me. But what do we do? Is this it? Is my sister guilty? Let's just keep our heads cool and press the witness a bit, shall we? For some reason, having her panicking next to me makes me calmer. You don't smile like that! Somehow I always knew a day like this would come. Okay, I already read all this. Through the wire fence, I saw a prosecutor standing next to the doorstep, was holding a knife in her right hand.
Objection!
And you witnessed this? You saw Miss Skye stab the victim with the knife? As I've already said, yes. I swear it on my finest salmon swirl lunch. I'm sure that is a fine lunch. But, isn't that odd? Look at this photograph. This is the photograph you took at the very moment of the crime, is it not? Then why is Miss Skye not holding a knife? Mr. Edgeworth, your thoughts? Objection. That had to be the weakest objection ever, Edgeworth. Yet, it was still stronger than your ever-feeble mind, Mr. Wright. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? This photograph was not taken a moment before the stabbing. This was taken a moment after the stabbing.
Objection!
And how can you tell that? Blood splatter. Huh? See the dark crimson stains on the chief prosecutor's coat? But it's a black and white photograph. Ah, yes, it's hard to tell, but this could be blood. Well, Mr. Wright, I see no problem here. No problem, except you. Mr. Wright! Mr. Wright! Are you going to just sit there and take that kind of abuse? You got a better idea? Let's go ahead and save. Wait, that contradicts what the witness said in her testimony. Namely, that she took the picture the moment she witnessed the crime. Well, it seems I was slightly unclear. My apologies. That's it? If you run out of lunch, you order seconds. Problem solved. If you don't like it, try ordering the jumbo-sized lunch from the get-go. Good advice! I'm not sure I understood it, but good advice. I didn't have time to stop her. Prosecutor Sky was cold, calculating, like a robot. She killed without pain or remorse. It was a premeditated murder. Part of that sounded like the movie The Terminator when Reese was telling Sarah Connor about the Terminator. Premeditated? How do you know? Look at the Chief Prosecutor's hands in that photograph. Well, are those gloves? Surgical gloves made of thin rubber, most likely. Why would she have those on? If it was not premeditated, she would not be wearing those gloves. Ah! Uh-oh. These gloves do seem to tell a tale of premeditation. Premeditated murder, a serious offense. Witness, add this to your testimony. The murder was planned. The rubber gloves proved it. Witness, do you know what this is? Are you trying to test me? I sell boxed lunches for a living, you know. That's a knife. The knife. The knife that was in Mr. Edgeworth's trunk. Indeed, it is my knife. What's with this case? The bloody murder weapon, a red car, all belonging to the prosecutor there. The defendant is the chief prosecutor for the district, right? Mommy, are prosecutors bad people? The defense has a request. We ask that the witness provide an accurate testimony. What's that, Rookie? In your testimony, you stated that Lana Skye planned this murder, and that's why she was wearing those special gloves. Seems like a natural conclusion to me. The gloves do indicate planning. However, why would she not also prepare the most important thing? The murder weapon. Oh. This knife just happened to be in the trunk of that car. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to plan a murder, you don't forget the weapon. Whoa! Got you, lady. Order, order, order! Great, now the tide is turning in our favor. Great show, Mr. Wright. This is as good as free. Right. I believe the next lunch you'll be eating is humble pie. What? I hope you weren't deluding yourself into thinking that the tide has turned. Not over such a trifling detail. But this shoots a hole in the whole premeditated theory. Bah! The prosecution could care less if it was premeditated or not. The only one who seems to care is that lunch lady over there. The defendant, Lana Skye, murdered a detective with a knife. That is the only thing the prosecution need prove. Nothing else. Very good, Mr. Prosecutor. I suppose you think you're clever now? But you know as well as I do that she planned on killing him. It was planned. If it wasn't, why would she have been wearing... I believe I'd like to hear your testimony again. Witness, please tell us only what you saw, not what you thought. How dare you? My powers of deduction are not to be underestimated. Really now. Yeah, this lady seems to be really full of herself, and it's starting to get under my skin a little bit. Witness testimony. Angel's deduction. Lana Skye intended to murder Detective Goodman. That's why she called the victim all the way to the prosecutor's office. I'm sure the chief prosecutor had a grudge against the victim. Nothing else could drive that human machine to plunge a knife in again and again. The victim was summoned from the police department to the prosecutor's office. It does sound a lot like premeditation, doesn't it? So, if I ordered a pizza, does that mean I'm planning to kill the delivery boy? In any case, the defense may now cross-examine the witness. I'm sorry if it seems like I'm saving too often, but I just want to be safe. Okay. Lana Skye intended to murder Detective Goodman. Why, she called the victim all the way to the prosecutor's office. She showed the chief prosecutor had a grudge against him. Nothing else could drive that demon sheep. And again and again and again. Oh, really? Well, what about this? You say she stabbed him again and again. But you couldn't have witnessed that. Are you testing me? Then I'll test you. With my moss surprise. I'm afraid the moss is growing under our feet as we wait, Miss Starr. What do you mean? I shouldn't have to explain this. But take a look. The autopsy report states that death was due to a loss of blood from one stab wound. Aha! You're right. Good show, Mr. Edgeworth. What a hunk! He's my hero, really! What about my objection? Nobody noticed? Well, witness? You got the crime scene set, right? Oh, thanks. I always believed that no one could ever mistake ketchup for blood. But now I realize that such mistakes are possible. So, you're saying you mistook something for blood? When she lifted her knife, I thought I saw blood on her breast. Splattered blood from her victim. That's why I thought she must have stabbed him at least twice. Then tell us what you saw what you thought was blood. Testify. Her red muffler looked like blood to me. That's how ghastly the whole scene was. Okay, let's go ahead and save.
Objection!
Miss Starr, I demand an explanation.
Objection!
The witness is clearly not suited for detective work. What? The suspect was not wearing a scarf or muffler of any kind when she stabbed the victim. And you've proved it yourself, with this photograph. Huh? But that can't be! Only a professional lunch lady could be so utterly clueless. I think she's gonna need some ointment for that burn. Congratulations, perhaps you finally found your true calling in life. Oh man. Harsh words, but good. In the end, Mr. Edgeworth prevails. What was my objection? Chopped liver? But it was there. A scarf. No, not that, but something red. Really? Well now, where were we? The witness has given us an entertaining interlude, but back to business. What? Very well, witness. Continue your testimony. You saw the crime and apprehended the suspect. Tell us about that. Very well. Let's go ahead and save again. I do remember some things accurately, at least. Ultimately, we couldn't shake the most important part of her testimony. The most important part? The part where your sister stabs the victim. This next testimony might just be the moment of truth. Witness testimony, apprehending the suspect. After the murder, the suspect attempted to run behind a partition off to her side. I quickly caught her, explained her rights to her, and arrested her on the spot. Ah, yes, when I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what had me confused in my earlier testimony. The chief prosecutor made to escape, but against Angel Starr, resistance is futile. You are quite determined about the scarf, aren't you? I strike like a snake and bite like a cobra. That's me, Angel Starr. That wasn't a very good metaphor. First of all, a cobra is a kind of snake. Don't bother me with details unless you want to get bitten. No thanks. Note to self, Mr. Wright is weak against poisonous snake bites. The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hands aside, kicked over an oil drum. An oil drum? Hard to imagine. Oh, she's beautiful, but deadly. A predator, this one. A leopard woman. Rawr! Very well, Mr. Wright. Your cross-examination if you will. We're gonna go ahead and save one more time. And then shortly after this, I'll end the video. Cross-examination, apprehending the suspect. And of course I forget to mute my phone, I do apologize for that. After the murder, suspect attempted to run behind a petition off to her side. I quickly caught her, explained her rights to her, and arrested her on the spot. Ah yes, when I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. She mentioned the muffler? What exactly did she say? If I remembered exactly, I would have told you in my testimony. Cheeky. Anyway, all I heard her say was the word muffler. Just that one word? So, what you heard wasn't the suspect talking to you, but to someone else? Yes, the chief prosecutor was talking on her phone. Her phone? She can't mean... Let's ask further. By phone, do you mean this cell phone discovered at the crime scene? Yes, ultimately. Ultimately? My memory. It's like a salmon heading upstream, you see. I honestly don't. No, the court doesn't seem to start. The chief prosecutor first attempted to use the phone hanging on the wall. On the wall? That's right. Near the car. There was an emergency phone on the wall. Apparently it was out of order. And so she used her cell phone? Indeed, the emergency phone was out of order that day. Good witnessing witness. Good witnessing? Whatever happened to good testifying? You should of course add this to your testimony. The things I do to please this rookie defense attorney. Lana's cell phone updated in the court record. The word muffler was overheard during a call made to Emma at 5:18. I saw it all, how she tried the phone on the wall but had to use her cell instead. The prosecutor made to escape, but against her, persistence is futile. So Miss Guy tried to run? I'm sorry, my sister's so suspicious, Mr. Wright. Not as sorry as I am. But she didn't do it! You have to believe me! Okay, this is where I'm gonna... I know this seems kind of like a weird place to stop, but I am gonna stop there. We are approaching the half an hour mark, and it's probably gonna take another half an hour to do tomorrow's video, which will finish Angel Star's testimony. So hopefully you guys are looking forward to that. Thank you guys so much for watching this. Hope you guys are enjoying this series. I'll be seeing you guys again next time.